All right, so we are at my particular Lowe's Home Improvement Center here in San Antonio. We're gonna be going inside to see if we can actually build a full survival kit. So like I said, we're here at Lowe's, and this is this Amp HP Extreme Tool backpack, and this thing is freaking awesome. It's got a lot of different pouches and different places to put good tools and everything, but I could see this as a awesome survival backpack for a gear organizer. It's only $39. So we have some lighter cubes by Weber. These are very similar to the Wet Fire Tender cubes, but they're really, really cheap. They usually go for about $1.99 for a 24 pack. Really cheap lighter, $3.99. Boxo matches, $3. Self-defense and headlamps. So this is definitely not as good as like a folding saw. However, it's got a really good ergonomic handle. It's got the folding saw and a sheath pouch for it to carry. So in lieu of not having the right tools, by finding something here at Lowe's, that'll do the trick. So here's another well-known item. This is the Stanley Foldable utility knife, but it's basically a razor blade. But for light-duty slicing and cutting, this thing would do miraculous, especially for $7. Well, it's not the exact first place I would look, but they do have some Buck Knives, Gerber, CRKT. They do sell folding knives that you could use to keep on you for EDC. You can definitely use some really big 3mm heavy-duty trash bags. These are the 42-gallon size, and they also sell heavy-duty tarps that you could use for an emergency shelter as well. Now, these are a little more expensive than standard tent stakes, but they use the same principle. You could use these as kind of like a nice lightweight polymer heavy-duty tent stake version. They are designed as an anchor for things like if you're building an inflatable things or any pull force, but they have a 70-pound pull force. So this is some vinyl tape, but it's retro reflective vinyl tape, and at $3 you can go down to the sign area and you can find a lot of good signaling devices for the nighttime for not a lot of money. N95 approved standing and fiberglass respirators could definitely help you if you run into an area where the environment isn't so good and you need to try to filter out some particulates, but for a 40 pack for like $35, that ain't bad. Having some really good, thick, durable nitrile gloves you can use just to create a barrier between you and something else out in the wilderness, but you can also use it for first aid. So this typically wouldn't be something I would look for, but this is an adjustable blind spot mirror, and that's definitely something you could use for a signaling device if you needed to. So this is actually used for wooden post brackets, but I had a survival hack where we basically took some L brackets and turned it into a stove, and I'm going to reference that footage here in this video clip. But you could take this, put it in your pack, and have an impromptu holder for a pot if you don't have anything else to kind of give your pot while you're boiling water a stable foundation. Alright, now a lot of people know that Lowe's they have a lot of jute. We've got some S beaners, we have the figure 9 beaners, a lot of these cam jams. They got a lot of good connector pieces that you can use for ridge lines, anything like that. However, they may not be popular in paracord, but they've got a lot of different cordage, nylon ropes, and natural cordage you can use to put in your kits on in the fly. Gorilla tape, it just works. This stuff's pretty freaking awesome. This is repair tape. It's supposed to be a lot tougher than duct tape, like beyond a tougher. But this stuff is not very expensive. It's about $10 a roll, but you get quite a bit of it. You can use it to repair tools, anything like that, gear, especially out in the field. So we got some off deep woods and some Cutter 10 hours, which is sweat resistant. So we got some good bug spray. We got big packs of drinking water you can use to have some preps in your house, and it's pretty cheap, about $4 a pack. Plenty spare batteries for your flashlights. So if you're into flashlights but not into spending a whole lot of money, they got a whole section just for you. And most of these, from what we can tell, use common use batteries. Food rations. People keep telling me to bring protein bars, so they do sell that here too. Shelter. Small rodent animal trapping. These things are freaking awesome. They will definitely kill a small game animal really quickly for $2. Really cheap rain collection, or use them as toilets. So we're out here in the garden section, and you could actually use this pool noodle in conjunction with a 5-gallon bucket and a trash bag that we talked about earlier to make an improvised toilet in a bug-in hurricane storm situation. So for those of you who are small hatchet kind of guys, or you want a bigger splitter or felling axe, they definitely have that covered for not a lot of money. It's kind of funny when you take the survival aspect or the label off of an item, the price drastically drops when you go somewhere like a home improvement store. So this is actually something I haven't thought about too much, but this is the space bag from Ziploc that I've only seen here. Basically, it's double zipper thick, so it's designed to be airtight. You can use it to compress things like clothing and other pieces of malleable kit that you can put in your bag to save some space while you're packing your backpack. Sharpen the edges, we have a shuriken. For those of you who are into building super shelters, you could use this aluminum line level for about $4 to make sure that you're not building a crooked shelter if you decide to build something more permanent. They got a really nice pair of leather gloves, but for anybody, depending on if you want more impact or do you want to go lower budget, they got pretty much everything you need. The 20 count of 8-inch zip ties, and zip ties, oh my god, they're really lightweight, easily packable, they weigh nothing, and they're good for just about everything. Jeep snare wire, I would want something a little thinner than this, but this would do the trick. Hurricane proof tent stake. Bam! Budget friendly jackpot. We have the folding saw razor tooth by Corona, and we also have the pruners, which are good for getting some small branches clipped. So I actually think this about seals the deal. We were able to find a true blue Tramontina 18-inch machete for $20 with a home improvement store like Lowe's or Home Depot, or even Menards and other places like that. If you can come to a place like this and build a house, there should be very little question in your mind that you could come here and actually be able to effectively buy a survival kit.